time, so I will try to comprehensively mention what I am planning to. Am I audible? Yeah. So this is about the lunchtime. I understand the pulse of the audience. I will try to comprehensively conclude the before lunch session at the earliest. So my topic, first of all, thanks for allowing me to present on talking to you on mobile security. Whatever the information I am having, I'm trying to explain to you. I'll start with, as you know, mobile devices, which consisting of our both the handsets as well as the BYOD, the laptops, everything becomes as a mobile device. And it started as a communication device, communicating for voice communication and SMS. Am I audible? So it started with the voice communication, but now it's really controlling our life. Are you agreeing to me? Yeah, correct. Starting from the business, banking, health, everywhere we are trusting on these mobile devices and the applications, right? So that is the influence which these devices are having on us. So again, the same reason, the threat factor or the vulnerability associated with these devices, it's nailing us, right? So that's the hackers. Hackers are also interested in this particular devices. They want to hack the information, they want to have the data, they want to take financial advantages. So they consider these mobile devices as the easiest point, entry point to our daily life. So again, this makes the vulnerabilities associated with these devices make the end users worried, as well as the regulators, as well as the industrialist OEMs. So a lot of R&D efforts are being spent on this mobile security. While talking on mobile threats and vulnerabilities, there was an industry survey which mentions that only 29% or 30% of the applications are getting tested before made to live, whatever, whether it is an Android or an iOS. So which is like 70% is outside the control. That is the industry outlook on this particular area. Again, 70% of the applications, they have the complete control of the data what is lying in the handset. So these are the two alarming survey results which I would like to share you before starting my presentation. And the areas which I would like to cover in this presentation includes like what is a mobile device, what constitute a mobile device, what are the devices which we consider as a BYOD or which comes under the broader domain mobile devices. Then an industry overview. Then another third topic will be threats and vulnerabilities. What are the security mechanisms? Then like threats to the mobile technologies, the security technologies itself. We are depending heavily on the mobile security technologies, right? There is an underlying factor which makes those security technologies vulnerable. Then what are the regulatory or OEM guidelines? How we can make the mobile devices a bit secure. Then what is the next generation mobile security? What is going to happen now in the industry? These are the general areas which I would like to cover. So mobile devices, yeah, as I said earlier, the mobile devices is not only the handheld devices, your laptops, any tabs, the BYOD devices, or everything constitute under mobile devices. And this is the definition given by the NIST. And again, the main characteristics, it will have a operating system, there will be a physical port, data storage will be there will be a interfacing applications to interact with that particular hardware. Then the other things like the removable media, the sensors, these are secondary to the mobile devices. It's not a mandatory one. Then basically the mobile device consisting of a hardware, so firmware, mobile OS, and the applications. And the other components include the cellular one, the Bluetooth one, GPS, all of these additional things which can have it. So basically any device which has got a communication, which can have a hardware, mobile OS, firmware, applications, all these things can constitute a mobile device. So just under industry overlook. So how much do you think the percentage of increase in the mobile devices market? Compared to last year, it is 115%. Number of mobile users, number of mobile devices. there was a survey which mentions that the total, the number of mobile devices available in the market is much higher than the number of people, live people, like, or the human beings in the entire globe. So that is how the market is exploding. Another, it is when we are considering the digital transaction market, it is going to be USD 80.8 billion. It's a very huge number, right? That is without considering your gaming market or other market. So the application, the mobile applications, it's going to be the game changer with respect to the software development side also. So hence the coming to the third factor, the hackers, they are working so hard that they have an easy entry point, and hence the same with the threat cyber defense market. It's also going to be like 63.38 billion by next 2023, and the CAGR is expected to be 16.1%, which is again a higher industry standard. So what are the general threats to the mobile enterprise? You know, right? The exploitation of the underlying hardware, software, even the firmware, it has a OS, it has an application which is again developed by a software engineer, which has got a inbuilt vulnerabilities. Then the device loss and theft. Then the supply chain vulnerabilities, the different parts of the mobile getting created from different parts of the world, and the softwares which running those devices. Then misconfigured devices, which is always a threat. Whatever we say, like whatever the applications we have, it is based on the basically the firmware which it runs on. Any misconfigured device can be a threat to the organization or to the enterprise. Then unauthorized certificates. Whenever we are installing an application, there will be an associated certificate associated with that. Any corruption to that certificate can create a issue threat to the mobile enterprise. Then wireless eavesdropping. We are connecting to different Wi-Fi's, which can result in a Wi-Fi sharing and the rest of the compromises. Then the same one, the next one, the major or the major discussed one, the mobile malwares. Then insecure lock screen, which may be like many of we consider as a low critical vulnerability, but that is the most exploited vulnerability, the lock screen facility, which is not getting used by the individual user. Then the privacy violation and data loss via synchronization and shadow IT usage. So basically these threats and vulnerabilities we can classify into five different categories. That is the physical threat, then user-based threat, application-based, network-based, and web-based. Which, like whatever I have explained earlier, these are the 5 categories which we can split into, as well as the vulnerabilities also, which comes from the network-based, host-based, and the device-based ones. So these are some of the threats and the mitigations and the countermeasures which you would like to run through. You know, right, the exploitation of the underlying vulnerabilities in the devices. Again, the particular OS and the application isolation, rapid isolation of the softwares, enterprise mobile devices. These all constitute some of the mitigations and the countermeasures. Again, user education, then security policies. When if it is a credential theft, we have to use the wiping facility. All these are some of the mitigations and countermeasures. Then mobile malwares, how can we prevent it, which is a hot topic. Again, user education, application testing, whether that application itself has got some vulnerabilities which can be identified through an application vetting process.
Sure.
We'll go to the security mechanism. So what about the security elements or the controls we have to implement in a mobile device or a mobile security? It shall be in 3 forms. One will be the device oriented, second will be a management oriented, or a user oriented. So device oriented means like the device we need to control with a proper OS patching, with a isolation, with application controls. All these are with respect to the device ones. And the management oriented, basically the policy selection, how we are enforcing the policies, how we are allowing the end user to control the particular mobile device. That will be the management oriented decision. And the user oriented is again the awareness part, how the user is going to control the device. So in detail, these are some of the mechanisms which we daily use for implementing the security mechanisms.
Oh.
So authentication, we know, right? Encryption, it's again the encryption of the data as well as the using the certificates part. Remote management, if in case of the loss of the particular device, there shall be a provisioning to do the remote management and the remote wiping of the data. Then the awareness part, cooperating agent principle, aware of the same.
Yeah.
So cooperating agent principle is basically we should be able to identify the navigation path. There will be another agent or an application which identifies like how the controls are moving, what is happening in the device. So that navigation we are tracking again with the help of a cooperating agent who captures the path histories. That is what we call it as cooperating agent. Then execution tracking. Execution tracking is again if the agent is getting modified, we can do a execution tracking. What is the agent actually doing in the device? Then environmental key generation. Again, you know about the dynamic and the static key factor. The issues with the static key issues, we are trying to eliminate it with the environmental key generation. Then on the overview of mobile security technologies, again it can be split into two: device side management and the enterprise side management. In the device side management, we can have the hardware backed data isolation, platform management, VPN support, and the authentication mechanisms. Whereas in enterprise security technologies, we can have enterprise mobility management, application management, mobile threat defense, vetting, virtual or mobile infrastructure, application wrapping, and secure containerizations. So in the EMM, it is the complete holistic solution which provides almost all the functionalities. Whereas in the mobile application management, we will be controlling the application, what the application is doing. It will be like a hybrid model. The enterprise will not be having the complete control of the device, but it can control the application part. Again, threat defense is like a monitoring mechanism, like a antivirus. It will verify or monitor the particular device in a real-time manner. Then app vetting, it is just the testing, the dynamic and the static one of testing. Virtual mobile infrastructure is like a VDI, where we can have a separate instance within the same mobile, which will be more secure. And like a VDI environment, it acts separately from the original OS. Application wrapping is like wrapping up a particular application so that its functionality will be isolated. Secure containerization, again a software based containerization technique where the application is the particular application is segregated from the device part. So mitigation measures, I just tried to explain it here. Then about the mobile security, threats to the mobile security itself. So it is a part of the study. We are using many mobile applications like Lookout, Norton 360. So as per this study and the research, these solutions itself has got a vulnerability. So these some of the solutions might be they have addressed it by till now, but the survey mentions that the solution itself is not properly tested. It has got its own vulnerabilities. So along with the business applications, we need to check on these type of applications also, which is considered as the security solutions. So what are the regulatory guidelines or the OEM guidelines? We have the NIST standards in place, and Android and iOS, they give their own standards. From the regulatory perspective, we have the DPSC, Digital Payment Security Controls, and Cyber Security Framework, and Mobile Banking Transaction, the master circulars in place from our RBI. So basically, what does all these circulars informs us? It's about continuous upgradation. whether the application is, we are installing it, make sure that the permissions and the policies are in place. We are continuously upgrading it. There is a real-time or a runtime monitoring. So just like any other applications which we are using in the business scenario, we need to have a monitoring system as well as an incident management system in place so that the mobile devices can be securely used. So what is the next, what is the research activities? So like some of the things are being implemented and some are implemented. So basically the recommendations from the industry is a rich operating system. Like other than the operating system which functions in our mobile devices, it should consider the function security along with the functionality, which they call it as a rich operating system. Second is like a secure operating system. The operating system we know, right? It works on the kernel. So a secure operating system, like it should run parallel in full rich OS to communicate with the secure kernel. So that is what the industry recommendation is. Then trusted execution environment. Above the secure operating system environment, there shall be a trusted execution environment where the application runs. There should be a clear segregation between these two layers so that during the running of the application, there will not be any linkages. There should not be any lateral movement. Then secure element, SE, which is a tamper-resistant hardware and software. This is the next generation, or the research activities are happening in this area. So that ends my presentation. Do you like to add or you want me to explain more on any of the topics?
I think so.
Yeah, questions or try to.
Can I have that?
Any questions anybody wants to ask or something of that sort? I think that's just.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, one question I have.
Yeah.
I'm Gaurav from Standard Chartered. If we want to explain about what all security measures have been taken, if in case we are developing a particular app for a in the BFSI sector, to the sales team and to the customer, so that they feel that this app is secure. If we ask them to download the app and then upload, say, some of the documents which is required for loan processing, etc. So how do we make the sales team and the customer comfortable that the security measures are in place, wherein your documents would remain secure and safe?
Yeah, there is never be 100% secure applications in place. Considering that, what the organization or from a RBA perspective, what we saying is that we need to have make sure that OWASP top 10 is compliant. That is the minimal requirement. Second thing is about the continuous auditing part. Once the application is made live, there will be some changes, patches being deployed. As and when we does the changes, we have to continuously audit it, because ultimately it is the time taken by the hacker to exploit your systems. The only thing what we can do from a defense person is like to make the task harder for him. So all the security measures like the isolation or the containerization, whatever we do, it is just to increase the time he put in for the job.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.